Hi, parents. I'm so excited that your student is signed up for Mountain to Mission. It is just a great time. It's a great trip. Over the many years of doing youth ministry, this is again the trip that I look forward to the most. Now, this video is really just to talk about the packing list. The other details as far as when to show up at Lighthouse, when can you pick your child up, how much money should I send my kid with, that email is coming later. This email is literally just about packing, and therefore, like, what do I need to go get, or things of that nature. And so in this email is attached a packing list, and print that off. And now again, it's not necessary for you to have everything on this list. It is more of a guideline, but you do want to kind of stick to it. You don't want to go off this much. There's many years of kind of doing things and things of that nature. And so now with that said, there's a couple things that I just want to let you know about, about Mountain to Mission. Now, some of your students maybe have been on trips in the past, and so they think, oh, I know what we're doing. But like last year, we didn't get into the backcountry because the snowpack was so great, we couldn't get it out. And so this year, we will be able to get into the backcountry. And so their experience is going to be radically different. And so with that said, there's the other part of this is form or functionality over fashion is a big one. I know a lot of middle school students are about how they look. Well, this trip might change them a little bit in that way. And so function over fashion is going to be a big piece in the packing of the trip. And then also, we'll get to the other part. So here's an image of the backcountry backpacks. All right, so what you'll see is, this is adventure style backpacks. You'll see strapped on there are sleeping pads, and it's a pretty substantial backpack. Now, if you don't have this type of backpack, feel free to not go out and buy one, okay? So you don't have to go purchase one. Youth Dynamics has that, and we can borrow those. If you have your own, awesome, bring it. If you don't, just a duffel bag will be just fine, okay? And then we will transfer into a backpack once we get there. And so now there's some other things on the list that Youth Dynamics can provide if you don't have them. And so some of the things like sleeping pad, you saw in the picture there, the roll on top of on the top of the pack, they have those. And so if you don't have your own, don't worry about going out and getting any. A sleeping bag, if your sleeping bag that you have only rolls up to be, and it's kind of still big, don't worry about it. Smaller is better, less is more on this trip. And so if you don't have a sleeping bag that really cinches down, then we'll let Youth Dynamics provide that as well. And so they've got plenty and things of that nature. And so, but again, don't feel like you have to go out and get that. Pillows are an interesting one. Sometimes, like there's been some years I've taken a pillow, there's been some years I haven't. If I don't take it, then I just use a sweatshirt and sleep on it that way. Pillows take up a lot of space, and when you're dealing with a pack, we only have so much space. And especially when we're in the backcountry, we are also carrying food and camping supplies and things of that nature. And so it's not just our clothing and our sleeping bag and stuff, it's other items as well. And so we need that extra space. So pillows are one of those that can sometimes take up too much space. So if you don't have a pillow that really kind of squishes down, then it might stay home, and then you kind of come up with something else. Now, you might be able to get a pillow or something of that nature. You're feel free to do that. Send your pillow, but we'll just have to make that call. But again, if it's just a pillow that's huge and fuzzy and all those kind of things, you might want to leave that at home. Again, color is kind of important. Like if you have something really bright, that's going to attract, when we're in the backcountry, that's going to attract bugs and birds and all those kind of things, because they're going to think, oh, it's a flower, there's nectar or things of that nature. Bees are going to be like, ooh. So just a little food for thought on that one. Water bottle. This is just a water bottle that was in the youth room. This is the minimum you'd want. This is probably about 24 ounces. You want some 24, 32 ounces worth. This is pretty flimsy and things of that nature, but some things I do like about this is, one, it's got a great big open mouth, and it's recognizable, and it could take a beating. Okay, so that's the pluses. I've got one that's a little bit more substantial, pretty hard, and again could go bouncing along some rocks or things like that if I dropped it and be all right. You do not want to send a water bottle that has a fan on it and all those kind of foo-foo things. Foo-foo is not this trip, all right? So this is about the minimum you'd want, but again, something that can hold at least 24 ounces of water to go from there. Throw in a couple, 2 or 3 garbage bags, one for clean clothes. We can do that. You don't have to pack that way, but one for clean clothes, one for dirty clothes, and then one for who knows what, maybe wet clothes or something like that. But again, just pack those. Don't go ahead and pack them, because when we go to pack our backpacks, we do it a very specific way, and we teach the kids what to do and how to do it. And so not having them in there would probably be better. Bring some work gloves. Youth Dynamics does have some, and so if you don't have any, again, they can provide that. And then when it comes to clothing, again, less is more. We're gone for 6 nights, but you don't want 6 bedtime outfits. We're going to be gone 7 days, but you don't want 7 outfits. You just don't have time or space to do that. And so what I encourage you to do is 1 or 2 pairs of pants, 2 or 3 pairs of shorts, and then like a swimsuit. Guys, swim trunks are fine. Girls, 1 piece is better. 2 piece, if it is a 2 piece, at least a tankini, no bikinis. But when it comes to clothing, so for an example, I'm going to bring 2 pairs of pants, that's it. Because I've got kind of special hiking ones that I can unzip my legs, and then now I've got 2 pairs of shorts. That's what I'm bringing, that's it. That I'm going to sleep in those as well. That's probably too much information, right? Too bad. And so that's my sleepwear as well, is just because it's easier, it's lighter, and I'm not too worried about what I look like in my fashion. And so now again, most people don't have hiking pants, so a pair of jeans and like a pair of sweats or something of that nature. Again, big bulky sweats, probably not the greatest, but if that's all you got, okay, so be it. But then a couple pairs of shorts, gals, not shorty shorts, please. And just because, again, where we're going to be serving and some things like that, you don't want really short shorts. And so like athletic kind of soccer kind of shorts, and so but only again 2 or 3 pair is all you need. Again, you will wear the same outfit a couple times on this trip. It's just the nature of the beast. But it's okay to bring multiple pairs of underwear. Now, I will say this is probably more information than you want to know, but many times students will come back and say, I didn't even use all my underwear. It's just because sometimes in the backcountry, you're like, I'm not really up for changing, or it's too weird to change, or things like that. And so you'll find yourself sometimes 2 or 3 days and you're like, oh, it's time to change my underwear. So that's just what I hear from students, and that's kind of the reality. But it's still okay. Bring 7 pairs of underwear. And socks, though, like I'll bring a couple pairs of just regular socks, and I'll bring a pair of wool socks. Again, when it comes to clothing, non-cotton is better. And so like t-shirts, like dry fit type of shirts, athletic type of shirts are better, because again, if they get wet from just sweat or from water or stream or something like that, non-cotton dries out a lot quicker and it's a lot lighter. And so, but again, if you don't have non-cotton shirts or socks or things of that nature, don't go out and buy any. But at least maybe you go out and buy a couple shirts that are non-cotton, Pants, again, jeans will be fine, a pair of sweats will be fine. But if you have something different, that's awesome. And then bring a towel or two. On the list it says two, but one is fine and is doable. And then when it comes to toiletries, bring your normal toothbrush, that's fine, but like don't bring a huge tube of toothpaste. Maybe go to the dollar store and get one of those little travel ones, or Walmart, get one of the travel ones. And when it comes to like deodorant, leave perfume, leave cologne at home. That just attracts bugs to you. But you could bring deodorant. You can use that more for when we're serving. Again, smelly things attract bugs. So when we're in the backcountry, you want to use them. You really don't want to use smelly things. And then when it comes to like bug spray and sunscreen, again, well, when it comes to sunscreen, the least smelly and something that's waterproof is good. Something that's typically in a lotion is better because you can really get it covered, and it tends to last a little bit longer. The spray you can go through really fast. And then the bug spray, you want a minimum 25 DEET. Just depending on where we go, we might be covered in mosquitoes. So you want something that's pretty strong bug spray. You don't want to mess around and get just, it just looks cute. No, cute doesn't work in this one. So flashlight, again, you don't need a huge flashlight. Just get a small little flashlight or a headlamp or something of that nature. But if you don't have a headlamp, don't worry about it. It's all right. But make sure your student has a Bible. Make sure they have a small journal and a pen. We'll be spending time with God. We'll be spending time with God by ourselves and journaling and writing and doing some kind of soul searching and things of that nature. So those things will be needed, and make sure your student has those. Shoes. That's going to be the last one. Well, not the last one, but shoe-wise, so like for me, I've got my hiking boots. I'm going to have some Crocs, or kind of like Crocs, and I'm going to have a pair of tennis shoes. Now, if you don't have hiking shoes, don't worry. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy them. Tennis shoes in the backcountry will work just fine. But if you have tennis shoes, just understand that they're going to get beat up, all right? And so this is a rugged kind of trip, and so tennis shoes. I would not go out I would not send your student with a $200 pair of tennis shoes because they're going to get beat up pretty good. If you want those for school in a few weeks after the trip, not the right trip. So grubby pair of tennis shoes. But if you've got some hiking boots, awesome. Now, like I mentioned, Crocs, flip-flops. This is not really a trip for flip-flops, and so Crocs or Tevas, something that has a strap that can kind of strap your foot onto as well. Those work best. And so but when we go into the back country, I'm going to have my hiking boots and my Crocs. That's it. I'm not taking my tennis shoes back there. But again, now if I don't have hiking boots, tennis shoes and Crocs or like Tevas or something like that work just fine. That's about it. Jacket. Nighttime in the backcountry, it can get cool, and so I will have my fleece jacket. I'll have a beanie, and I'll probably have a baseball cap as well. And so again, function over fashion is key. If you don't have a fleece jacket, again, just regular sweatshirt is just fine. But again, something that can get beat up, kind of can get dirty, all those kind of fun stuff. This is not a trip to the Red Lion. We don't have a laundromat right next door or anything like that. And so the things that we take, they will get dirty, they will get used, they will get smelly. And definitely when your kid gets home, they will want to shower, even if we just showered or we're in a river or something like that. But because it's just going to feel good. Because this is a trip. Again, Mountain to Mission is designed to be an entry point into mission. And so sometimes being a missionary is going without showers for a few days. It's going with not much clothing. It's going with very little. And so again, this is an entry point to begin to teach some of that to our students. And so again, Great trip. Yeah, this is a lot. There's a lot going on in this, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, can my student do this? My student loves having their outfits for the days. Trust me, they can do it. We've been doing this trip for many years, and we've had kids that are just rugged and don't care, and we've had kids that care way too much. And this trip kind of brings everybody together. The thing is, again, less is more. Less smelly, much better as far as perfume smells and things of that nature. Those are some things just kind of think about as you put together your packing items. So again, if you got questions, feel free to email me. Feel free to talk to me on the weekends. But don't stress out about this list, all right? There's a lot of things that Youth Dynamics can provide. There's lots of things that, again, you don't have to go out and purchase. You can make do with what's here. But again, less is more. All right. Again, I've been praying for you and your student on this trip. We're just gonna have a great time, and I just continue to look forward to what God's gonna be doing. All right. God bless.